All right, everyone. So, good evening. We're back to the class. I hope you're all good. All right. Let me see my face. Okay. So, right now, let me share my screen so we can go straight to what we have for today. Okay. So, this is my online editor, and I will use it for. Okay. So, I believe you can now see my screen. Okay. Yeah, so I believe you all can see my screen right now. So if you can see my screen, please hit hello on the comment section. Say yes, I can see your screen on the comment section. And please, you can inform your friends that we're live. Share this link to your friends and everyone. Tell them that we're live for today's session. Okay. So last class we discussed JavaScript objects and we did some practicals on JavaScript objects where I explained JavaScript object as a container that contains or stores objects of related data or related action. Okay, so objects that have related properties or related behavior. Okay, or should I say the things that have related data and related properties and related behavior are known as objects in JavaScript. For instance, a car, you can say car object. So car object, you already know that when you look at a car, there are some properties that you should see that should make it a car. One of them is that you should have a steering, you should have uh, a door, like some at least one door. You should have uh, an engine. Okay, you should have a kick, right? Start kick, and it should have some actions like it should make a sound. When you put it on, it should make a sound. At least it should come on. It should have a power button or something that puts it on and off. And it should have, let's say, wheels, four wheels, right? So these are properties that are make up car objects. Okay. So these properties are divided into two. Some are known as actions and some are just properties. Actions are properties that involves an action. Let me put it that way. So we literally call them methods in JavaScript. It involves an action. Something has to happen. It's not just an attribute. It's not just a modifier. It's actually something that reacts. Okay, so if it was in English language, we can say that properties are noun, while actions are verbs, something that acts. For instance, if you put a car on, it has an action, it reacts. It comes on, makes a sound, and then if you pedal or march the gear, it starts moving, right? So these are actions. It has actions, right? So for instance, a human being is can be an object. And when you bring an object of a human being, you expect it to have head, you expect that person to have two hands, two legs. These are properties peculiar to human beings. And also skin color, these are properties as well. But there are actions, not just properties or attributes of a human being. There are actions that human beings carry out. Things like running, jumping, okay, things like anger, joy, laughter, playing, right? So these are different actions that a human being possesses, right? So in the context of JavaScript, we refer to actions as methods, and this is where we'll be starting today's class. We've discussed properties in the previous class. Today we'll be looking at methods because there are two different uh, things that an object contains. There are methods and it contains properties. So we've looked at properties in the last class where we had something like a property name and property value. So today we'll be looking at methods. Let's say we have a property phone as an object, sorry. Remember how we define objects. We can have properties like model, Samsung, camera, color, can say silver color. You can have battery life, let's say 5000 mAh. Now these are properties of the phone. How about methods of a phone? So this, when we're talking about methods, we're now referring to actions that the phone can carry. There are actions like snap picture or take a photo. A phone can take photo. We still give it take photo, right? But the value of take photo will not be a function. So actions are functions. Okay, because it requires a function for an act to be executed. So every behavior or every action that plays out is an execution of a function. Why? Because it has a set of behaviors that are executed. Okay, so for instance, in take photo, when you say take photo, the camera comes up and then there's a shot and the picture you took will be saved into the phone gallery. Right? So you can say take photo, you can say console.log camera on. Okay, they say this is how we define what should happen when a phone is about to take photo. I'm just giving you a kind of a prototype, not exactly what happens, but just to explain how these things play out. So you can say console.log take a shot. Then we have console.log save shots and gallery. So this is what should happen when this very what's it called? This very method is called, right? So remember Remember that we have a set. So the check time, then console.log ringing ringing bell, ringing tone. So you can see it. So normally, remember when we are accessing properties of a function, sorry, an object, we use this pattern. For instance, if you want to access the model of this phone, you do you do phone.model, and that solves it. Let's say console model. Okay, you can see it's model is Samsung. But if you want to call a method, what you would say is phone dot the name of the method is let's say take photo. The same way you do for attributes, properties. But in this case, because the method is a function, you have to call it like a function with the open and close bracket like this. Okay, so when we run this, you can see it. All the things that are defined in that function laid out. So camera on, take a shot, save shot in gallery. Okay, so the same thing happens if you want to do for alarm. Photo dot alarm this way. Because this has an argument, we need to pass in a value for this. Let's say the name of our ringingtone is hello tone. Okay, so run it. Sorry, sorry, I made a mistake. So if you look at the error, you'll see it's a reference error. Full T is not defined. So it's trying to tell you that this is not defined, right? So I'm supposed to use phone and I'm using this. I made a mistake. This is the right spelling. So one way to understand what is going wrong in your code is to pay attention to the error message. So when you go to the error message, you find out what exactly the problem is. So yes, you can see it. First of all, check time, then ringing, a tone. So this is just a simple illustration of how objects are represented with properties and methods. So you can do something more advanced. Try to put in some loops inside the function, try to put in conditions inside the functions, do something advanced inside this uh, method, right? Try to change some things. So I'm going to put this code in the description of the video of this class so that on your own you can go through it. So I don't want to make the class so long because I want you to properly practice this aspect and learn it very well before we move into the next thing. All right. So if you have any question, feel free to drop a question in the comment section. I will attend to questions in the next few minutes. Any question? All right. All right. So take care of yourself. See you in our next class.